How would you get a mining job? Welcome to Conversations About Mining. We've got Jess here from Beyond WA Resumes and Recruitment, and today we're going to ask her how she would go about getting a mining job today. Hi, Jess.
Hey, Andrew, thanks for having me. So how would you get a mining job? And I'm talking about anyone. How would anyone get a mining job? So there's a few different pathways and a few different kind of techniques and strategies that we help you set up if you are trying to get in, depending on what your background is. So if you are completely green, you've got no experience, you've got no civil experience, no construction experience, you've worked in an admin role or a sales role maybe, and you've got no experience at all, it would kind of be a 2 to 3 step plan. So you would need to make sure that you meet all those minimum requirements. So usually it's driver's license, white card, police clearance.
Yep.
And so having some education behind you about how the mine works, which Andrew can help you with that with courses. I would say get all of that in order, get your resume in order, and then you would be looking at, I say it depends. Some people don't want to do a utility role, or they have certain roles they will and won't do. I always say apply for anything and everything. We tailor our resumes so that you can apply for anything and everything. So I would say go for all entry-level roles, your traineeships, your dump truck, like entry-level, new to industry roles, trade assistant roles, drillers, offsiders, basically anything and everything that is entry-level that will give you a shot. If you are willing to do anything, then get in there and, apply for anything and everything. If you have a little bit of experience, maybe you have operated some machinery or kind of worked as a labourer or worked maybe, with services with Telstra or something, laying cables or doing horizontal drilling or doing something like, a bit more hands-on or technical, or, a trade, something in that kind of area, then I would say it's a little bit easier for you because you do have some experience that is a lot more relevant. And again, it's usually a process. So it's narrowing down exactly what you will and won't consider for entry-level roles. And then it's going through, making sure you meet that minimum requirement, educating yourself, making sure you've got the basics, how the mine works, what's happening, and then applying for anything and everything. And you need to also make sure that your Seek and your LinkedIn, whatever profile you're applying on, is all like schmick as well. Like, it's all good having a great resume, but if your Seek profile's got 20 resumes on it from 1995, you're not doing yourself any favors. So, make sure that's all sorted out. It's a plan. You really have to have a plan and a strategy. And a lot of people, I think, just think, right, I'm going to jump into mining, and they just jump on their Seek with their old resume and they start applying, and they get, I have people call every day. I've applied for 100 jobs and I've got no answers back from anyone and I'm not sure what to do. And it's usually a really simple elimination process of figuring out exactly where you go wrong. On the other hand, you could have someone that's a really, really experienced operator or driller or someone else that maybe you just want to kind of move across or make a transition into a different area of mining. Maybe you want to go from construction to production, or maybe you want to go from production to offshore or somewhere different. Then again, it's making sure you meet that minimum requirement. And that can be as simple as actually going through some ads on Seek, going through searching for what you actually want to get to and seeing what they require of you. If it's offshore, they have the BOSIT and they have all of those types of tickets that they need. Some construction sites need different safety tickets and things like that. Sometimes you need to have a rigging ticket or different things like that. So it's really just an elimination process of making sure your resume is all good, finding out exactly what you will and won't do, what you will and won't consider. Some people are quite strict in the way that they're like, no, I want to work for this company and I want to do this swing. So it can take them a little bit longer.
Yeah, that can take a long time if you limit yourself like that.
I've actually got a resume client that I worked with probably a year ago, and he's still ticking away applying because he only wants a dump truck traineeship at a very specific mine in New South Wales, and it's only residential. So I said to him, look, basically your only choice is to move there. You're not
drinking down the pub.
Exactly. And that's also another thing to consider if you want to get into FIFO is, where do you live? Where do you live? And are you close to a main airport? Are you in Brisbane or Perth or Sydney? You're close to an airport where you can fly in and out to a mine site, or are you going to have to relocate maybe to a residential mine or drive out to a mine that's close to you? So that's another consideration to make. So it's a bit of an open-ended question, really. It depends what background you're coming from, what you are willing to do and not to do. I have some people that are like, I'll do anything. Just tell me what to apply for and I'll do anything. You need to really figure that out. It's a real strategy to it. Once you figure out exactly what you want to do and where you want to do it, and you know that you do live, okay, great, I live in Perth, so I'm close to the airport and I've done nothing at all, but I'll do anything. Then it's time to look at your resume, right? You need to get your resume analyzed. You need to have a look at that and make sure that it's going to get you through those ATS systems. And then you need to make sure you've actually got the education to get into the role and actually succeed at it and not fail. And that's where Andrew can help with the education side of it, because that's his bread and butter. That's what he does.
And the 3-step plan package that we've got going together as a group, as a collective, it's a really good one. It marries up your resume service with our DIY package really well, and it's a great entry point for people to get in. Years ago, I used to get told by a lot of the old miners that 2 things: you got to go where they've got no choice but to hire new starters, and then you've got to give them what they want. And, you know, at the moment, you know, WA and north of Queensland, middle of New South Wales, Tasmania's got a lot of mines that have reopened, which everybody's surprised about, me included, because I watched a lot of them shut, you know, sort of 15 years ago that are all reopening at the moment. There's work all over the place. It's just you've got to understand where it is and, you know, give them what they want. And obviously, if you're prepared to go to Kalgoorlie, then you can shorten the recruitment period down quite significantly. And shout out to Paul, who went to Kalgoorlie a couple of weeks ago and has been offered a couple of jobs and is going to start on as a nipper in one of the nickel mines outside of Kambalda. So well done, Paul.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, definitely. If you maybe don't have family commitments or anything kind of holding you back wherever you are, and you're not in WA or somewhere close to a mine in Queensland or New South Wales or Tassie at the moment, definitely get to Kalgoorlie. Like, even if you commit to being there for 2 weeks and you utilized a good plan, had a good resume, and rolled in there with the education, you would honestly walk into a job at the moment. It's insane. There is so much work there.
The last 4 people that have gone that have done with a plan like we're talking about, they've all been offered multiple jobs.
Yeah, I'm the same. I had a lady recently. She actually just went to Kalgoorlie about 3 weeks ago. She's never had any experience. She's a nurse. She wanted to just do something completely different. She relocated. She just literally booked like an Airbnb and committed to a couple of weeks out there. And she's been offered a dump truck traineeship. So, yeah, there's a lot of work out there.
Yeah, the joke used to be they'd take anybody with a pulse, and now the joke is that they take somebody without a pulse if they thought they could drive the truck. You know, they're that desperate for people. Because you know, a lot of people show up and they don't do the work. They think they're going to just roll into it, and they get chewed up and spat out. You got to have a plan. You got to know what's going on. If you don't educate yourself, if you don't have the resume sorted out like you're supposed to, then it makes it all difficult. It makes what should be an easy thing difficult. And that's what we're all about, is trying to help you make make it an easy thing.
Definitely. And that's, if you've got any questions about that, like Andrew said, we've got this awesome 3-step plan package where you go through and you do the education, you get your resume done, and we go through a little bit of kind of coaching with you and actually figure out exactly where you should apply, how you should apply, what your kind of next strategy should be. So once your resume is all done and you've done your training, we can actually help you to figure out that strategy and figure out those next steps for whichever direction you want to go in. So it can be a really awesome thing to invest in for you if you have no idea and you genuinely have no idea what type of roles you want to apply for, anything to do with mining. You're very, very green and you're just looking, you know, or maybe you are operating machinery in Perth, but you have no idea how to make that transition over. So we're here to help. Reach out to either of us, drop a comment.
We do a mining jobs to apply for page as well. We load that up all the time. I just loaded that up before we did the video call. I must have put 10 truck driving jobs on there from around the country. It's all over the place at the moment.
It is, yeah. So definitely, reach out if you want help. If you're not sure of what to do or where to go, if you want advice from either of us, reach out, comment on the video, however, and we can give you a call back and have a chat.
No worries. Thanks, Jess, for that. And if you've got any questions that you'd like to send through, please send them through. If you could share the information around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.
Thanks.